So let's continue. Just a short review. We have talked about the different approaches in pricing. So we discussed about the cost plus and markups or the cost-oriented pricing, and we have the break-even analysis. So let's go to the third one, the target rates of return. So break-even pricing is a reasonable approach when there is a limit on the quantity which a firm can provide, and particularly when a target return objective is sought. Assume, for example, that a firm with the cost illustrated in the previous example determines that it can provide no more than 10,000 units of the product in the next period of operation. So here, for example, with the break-even analysis kasi, a break-even analysis, we are talking about multiple production, mass production talaga. There is no limit as long as there is an order, we will do it. Pero however, in the target rates of return, it is somehow similar to the break-even analysis. However, we have a limit in production. So for example here, the limit is just 10,000 units for the period of operation, maybe for the whole year. So they cannot produce more than 10,000. 10,000 now. For a lot of reasons. Maybe because of the machinery, because of the brand, di ba? There are a lot of brands that limit their production so that they can say that their products is limited, di ba? Parang it will give, especially if their target market is more of a high-end consumers that they want now na parang yung concept lang na limited lang, konti lang kami ang meron ganito. So that's an example. So for example, 10,000 units lang. They will be computing the break-even analysis. How many of that product will they have a break-even, and then they will put a markup. Ganun lang yan. So here, it is similar. It has a similar approach with break-even analysis. However, with the target rates of return, we have a limited number of production. Ganun lang. And number 4, demand-oriented pricing. Demand-oriented pricing focuses on the nature of the demand curve for the product or service being priced. The nature of the demand curve is influenced largely by the structure of the industry in which a firm competes. That is, if a firm operates in an industry that is extremely competitive, price may be used to some strategic advantage in acquiring and maintaining market share. On the other hand, if the firm operates in an environment with a few dominant players, the range in which price can vary may be minimal. Okay? So, we know that demand is a great factor for price. Diba? The higher the law of demand and supply. When the demand is high, the supply is low, price will go up. When the demand is low, the supply is high, price will go down. Di ba? Kung ikaw, sari-sari store ka mo sa isa ka kanto, pulo ka mo ka sari-sari store, then you have a very stiff competition. Diba? Ang dami mong kakompetensya na sari-sari store, parehas yung ginabaligyan nyo, almost similar yung prices. So, ang gagawin mo to get your new customer, to get yung mga customers is maybe you can lower down your price a little bit na hindi ka naman malulugi talaga. Okay? But if you are operating na konti lang kayo, especially if monopolized talaga, then you have a control of pricing. So you have all the demand in the market. So which means you can increase your price. And number 5, value-based pricing. If we consider the 3 approaches to setting price, cost-based is focused entirely on the perspective of the company with very little concern for the customer. Demand-based is focused on the customer, but only as a predictor of sales. And value-based pricing focuses entirely on the customer as a determinant of the total price or value package. Market, marketers who employ value-based pricing might use the following definition. It is what you think your product is worth to that customer at that time. Moreover, it acknowledges several marketing or price truths. To the customer, price is the only unpleasant part of buying. Price is the easiest marketing tool to copy, and price represents everything about the product. So maybe in value-based pricing, we are now measuring how important is our product to the customer. And then we put the price based on that criteria, based on that determinant. Okay? So kung feeling ta, for example, ang nakita ta nga need gid ni customer ang aton yung product, then maybe we can increase the price or we can adjust our price based on the need of the customer. Tama man? For example, na-remember ko ni when I was still in high school. May subject kami na nag-require sa plastic cellophane. Cellophane. I don't know kung ano, hindi ko ma-remember kung para din yung activity or para din yung requirement. Basta cellophane. And then a lot of us, wala nakadala sa cellophane. So, syempre, the tendency is you will go sa Changi or sa tindahan sa school. Not operated by the school, but yung canteen sa school. So, that time, isa lang ang canteen sa school lang. Isa lang nag-abriga. So, parang monopoly niya. And then the tendency is bawal, hindi kami pwede magawa sa school. Basta wala pabuyan. Maski lunch break, hindi kami pwede magawa. So, the tendency is mabakal kami dito. And then, when the owner of that store or itong nagarenta itong tenant, nabalaan niya ang kinanglan for grades. Grabe ang presyo niya. Hindi mo yan naman yung 10 pesos ang isa ka cellophane. Diba? Because she knew that we badly needed that plastic cellophane. So, hindi mo yung atang GST. Ikaw nga, wala kami mahimok, ikinanglan did for academic purposes, ikinanglan did para sa klase mo, nang piyong ka na lang nagbakal, di ba? So that's value-based pricing. So prices are and should be different between countries. Each country, we will deal with it differently. That is why kung magkadto ka mo sa ibang lugar, tapos magbaka ka mo sa Jollibee, iba ang presyo. Maskin i-convert mo siya into peso, layo yapon ang presyo. Because marketers put different prices based on the country. Okay? So prices should differ across different countries, but companies must not only reap the benefits but also manage the costs and avoid the pitfalls. Prices are almost never the same in international markets. They vary due to taxes, cost structures, local market needs, currency exchange rates, tariffs, differences in competitive situations, and a myriad of other reasons. They even vary because this is the way it has always been. If looking at different industries, consumer products have more than 100% difference in prices, with even regional differences. In example, the European Union of up to 50% of the same product. Car manufacturers are well known for their price differences, and even relatively global products such as computer software has had a number of bad PR cases where Australians will pay twice as much for Adobe software as US customers. So as what I have read here, though, there are a lot of reasons that will set the price. A lot of reasons, a lot of differences. For example, tariffs. If there is a free trade to that country, so walang tariff, walang customs, so walang babayaran. Because tariffs, customs, laws and legislations that will require me to pay as a business will definitely, I will put that as cost, di ba? And doon sa ating first pricing approach, which is cost plus, di ba? I will base the cost plus my plus my profit margin. So that is one of the reasons why different countries will have different prices we of the same commodity. But international price differences are more good than bad. Here is why. Not everybody is willing to pay the same. Some people are willing to pay more than $1,000 for a phone. Others only want to pay $200. The same really applies across nearly every product or service category. So what companies routinely do in their local markets is to segment the market and do product differentiation. For example, my iPhone 10, my iPhone XR, my iPhone XS. To meet different levels of customer needs and levels of customer willingness to pay. So may mga iPhones na for low paying consumers, yung gusto ko mabakas ang iPhone pero amo lang yung budget ko. Pero may mga consumers man nga normal lang iPhone tapos gusto pa na itong what is the latest. Because again, trade is the price is what the buyer and the seller agrees in exchange of the product or the service. Di ba? Ganun na kasimple yun. Yung price in the simple sense of marketing, price is ano yung agreean sang buyer kag sang seller, di ba? For example, tricycle. Kung naagrihan nyo medyo layo na sa ruta or medyo layo na, kung naagrihan nyo tag 15 na ang bayad mo, okay sa mo, ikaw nga pasahero, okay po sa tricycle driver. So that's a deal. That's a transaction. The price of the service is 15 pesos. So parang ganun na yung pricing. Okay? So cost-effective, affordable, international pricing insights. Different approaches to pricing in different markets when done scientifically and on purpose rather than because this is the way it always was is certainly more difficult. Takes more time and sometimes more money to get the right market insights for each individual market. So I think this one and this one will be quite self-explanatory. So I will just leave it to you to read, okay? So thank you for listening.